is where it all leads. The Enterprise, is it my destiny?
Be the first to know the latest updates, breaking news, and mind-blowing insights about your favorite movies. Subscribe now and become a true movie spy. The musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds was a great success overall. However, some cast members sang far better than others. This week's musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds Season 2 was fantastic. However, some members of the group sang better than others. Although past Star Trek programs included musical elements, until Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 9, the franchise had not produced a fully musical episode. The crew of the USS Enterprise gave their best to the performance of 9 amusing and moving original songs, and the program demonstrated that Star Trek was not only entirely capable of executing a musical episode but performing one exceedingly well. The experimentation on a subspace fold by Spock and Ensign Yoda Uhura served as the basis for the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. The experiments were originally designed to improve interstellar communication, but instead they created a quantum uncertainty field that caused the crew to sing whenever they felt intense emotion. While everyone gave excellent performances in the musical portions of the show, there was a definite hierarchy as to whose voice was the finest. Carol Kane plays Commander Pelia in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. In Star Trek, Strange New Worlds Season 2, Commander Pelia became a new member of the Enterprise crew, but she immediately made a name for herself as an intriguing and frequently amusing character. She was the one who suggested to Uhura and Spock that they try using music to induce the subspace fold to respond, but unfortunately, she was not given much screen time in the musical episode of Strange New Worlds. Although Pelia only sang one solo line in the opening group piece, there wasn't enough of it for her to be considered one of the episode's stronger vocalists. Pike and Captain Marie Boudreaux in the Star Trek, Strange New Worlds musical episode. Similar to Pelia, Captain Marie Boudreaux had little to do in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. A humorous side narrative and a shared song resulted from the further development of her and Captain Pike's love relationship. Although despite Scarfano's competent acting throughout the song, her performance wasn't particularly noteworthy. It's safe to say that Boudreaux's contribution to the song wasn't horrible, but like with the previous song, there wasn't enough of it to place him among Strange New Worlds' more dynamic singers. Anson Mount portrays Captain Christopher Pike in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Captain Pike made some wonderful contributions to Subspace Rhapsody, but Anson Mount's singing voice is not quite as powerful as those of the other actors. Pike had a duet with Captain Boudreaux and had a few solo lines in both ensemble numbers and solo songs, but it's obvious from hearing him sing why he wasn't given a significant solo song of his own. But there's no disputing that Mount's performance in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds more than made up for his abysmal singing ability. Babs Olusanmokun's Dr. Joseph Mbenga in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Dr. Mbenga only sang a short bit, but what he did was actually rather remarkable. Although the doctor said in the episode that I do not sing, Mbenga truly only took part in the group numbers, usually in a duet with Nurse Christine Chapel, and the few lines he had in songs showcased his unexpectedly pleasant and tuneful voice. Dr. Mbenga, who was sadly denied the chance to perform his own song in Subspace Rhapsody, still did a good job playing his role in the group numbers.
So did I, and I do not sing.
Erica Ortega is in the musical episode of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, played by Melissa Navia. Another character with just one line in the theme song is Erica Ortega's. Although unlike Pelia, Navia was given greater scope to display both her acting and singing talents. Ortegas joined the crew on the bridge and began singing along to the song status report as she informed Pike of the ship's state following the development of the quantum uncertainty field. In addition to having a beautiful singing voice, Navia really improved her performance by acting in the moment and chewing up the scenery as she gave her a report on the bridge. James T. Kirk in the Star Trek, Strange New Worlds musical episode, played by Paul Wesley. Although Commander Una Chin Riley and James T. Kirk sang together in a duet, Wesley proved that he can sing with the best of them. Even though Wesley and Ramayan's duet Connect to Your Truth wasn't one of the musical episode's finest songs, it was nonetheless a delightful interlude that showed number 1 and Kirk as a surprisingly intriguing pair. Wesley was more than capable of competing with Ramayan, according to the strength of his vocal range. Jess Bush's portrayal of Nurse Christine Chapel in the Star Trek musical, one of the more entertaining songs in Star Trek, Strange New Worlds musical episode was I'm Ready by Christine Chapel, which also showcased Jess Bush's amazing vocals. Uhura, Ortegas, and even Sam Kirk provided background vocals for the song, which was performed in the Enterprise's lounge. The song I'm Ready had a happy, uplifting atmosphere, but it also acted as a breakup song, with Chapel informing Spock that she preferred to put her work before their relationship. The song was beautifully handled by Bush's performance, both vocally and acting-wise, and the entire moment significantly advanced the storyline.
I'm ready.
Spock in the Star Trek Strange New Worlds musical episode. Following Chapel's denial, Ethan Peck's Spock finally had his day to shine in I'm the X, a really painful examination of his affections for Uhura in engineering. Peck's singing voice, which had an excellent vocal range and carried the greatest aspects of his already booming speaking voice, may have been one of the biggest surprises of the musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Spock's song was a pivotal point in his development as a character because it revealed how he was beginning to turn to reason to help him deal with the agony of losing Chapel. Despite the song not being one of the episode's standout moments, Peck's performance was nevertheless exceptional. Rebecca Romijn's portrayal of Commander Una Chin Riley in the musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds features Una and Lan. The musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds included performances by number one that were both memorable and remarkable. Una had a significant impact on the episode's larger plots, even if she wasn't as active in some of them. She assisted Lan Noonien sing in confessing her emotions for Kirk, with the lovely ballad Keeping Secrets, which truly highlighted Romijn's strong singing talent. Number one got Lan to tell the truth. Romijn also had a good time earlier in the show with her duet with Kirk, which was considerably lighter in tone and made reference to number one's love of Gilbert and Sullivan opera. Lan Noonien Singh, played by Christina Chong, is Lan in the musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. The musical episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds had one of its most moving tunes, and Christina Chong as Lan Noonien Singh certainly stole the show. Although Chong's portrayal of Lan throughout the program was already engaging, the fact that she is a professional singer in addition to being an actress made sure that her performance was even more exceptional. Chong's voice managed to portray the rawness that Lan and Kirk's romance was unmistakably causing for the character in How Would That Feel, which was Lan's big song. This was the most emotionally vulnerable aspect of Lan's character yet. Ensign Nyota Uhura in the Star Trek Strange New Worlds musical episode, played by Celia Rose Gooding. Even though there were many excellent performances, Uhura's part and vocal contributions to Subspace Rhapsody stood out the most. Celia Rose Gooding, like Christina Chong, has experience singing and earned a Grammy Award in 2021 for their Broadway performance in the musical Jagged Little Pill. In light of this, Uhura's major song, Keep Us Connected, was not only among the greatest of the Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode but also had the most exciting performance. The crew's last performance, which closed the quantum uncertainty field once and for all, featured Uhura, who undoubtedly performed the episode's most significant part. Stay tuned, because we have a mission to uncover the most enigmatic film secrets ever created. Remember, with Movie Spy, the truth is just one click away. Thanks for watching.
But